What's up, everyone? I'm Maddie. Welcome to 2021. We made it through 2020. We're into a new year, which is super exciting. We're starting a new series called Renew. And each week, we're going to look at a different topic that you can take throughout the whole year and kind of use to work on yourself. But this week, we're talking about mental health. And mental health can kind of be that weird topic that is just awkward and no one likes to talk about. And it's just something you don't talk about and you keep hidden if you're dealing with it. There's like a stigma of people struggling with mental health that they're like crazy or that something's wrong with them, but it's just not true. That's the thing about it. And everybody struggles with something. That's also something important to know. And some you can see and some you can't. But I've personally dealt with mental health myself. I've struggled with depression and anxiety and a couple times throughout my life as well. And I've been in counseling a couple times throughout my life too. And this past time, it was a doozy. It was one of the hardest that I've had to go through. I went through a really long season of loss in my life, and I just got to a dark place and didn't deal with it well. The first significant relationship I was ever in long-term ended, and then a month after that, I ended a job that was like my first adult job, started a new one, and then 2 months after that, my grandma died, and that was one of the first biggest losses in my life that I've ever had. And then a month after that, my dog died, and I just got in this really dark place from it because the hard thing was I had lost a family member before. I lost my great-grandpa in high school, but the thing with my grandma was it was a progression, and we slowly had to watch her decline to that point. And I would get so mad, and I would be in my car driving, and I would just yell at God because I didn't understand why this was happening, because I knew she was going to heaven. We all have those people in our lives or family members that we see and we know 100% that they're going to be in heaven someday, and my grandma was one of them. And I didn't understand why God would keep her on earth struggling like that, and like she was, being only coherent for like minutes at a time throughout the day and laying in a bed in so much pain the rest of it, when she could be in heaven, fully healed, living a great eternity with God. I just didn't understand it, and I would yell at God, and I just got myself to this really dark place because of everything that was going on in my life, and I tried to hide it too, which wasn't my best way to handle it. I thought that if I could make myself seem like I had everything kept together, that people would see me that way, and then I would just slowly start to be able to fix myself. And it definitely didn't happen because some of the people that were the closest to me could see the pain that was going on inside of me. And I had a friend, we're still friends, her name's Kara, but she came up to me and she was like, Maddie, I think you need to go to counseling. You're in this really dark place, you've been there for a while, like it's just something you need to do. And I got so mad at her. I didn't talk to her for 3 weeks because I was like, I can't believe she would think that I can't keep my crap together when obviously I'm doing it pretty well because no one else can know. But a couple weeks later, one of my other friends, Emily, comes up to me and says the exact same thing Kara said. And I was like, oh shoot, maybe they're right. I guess I'm not doing as good a job as hiding this as I was. And I didn't want to tell anyone how much I was struggling because I thought they would all look at me like I was damaged or like I was crazy and couldn't keep control of myself, but the thing was, none of that was true. All those stigmas I had built up in my head was just my anxiety fueling this darkness I was in and trying to keep me there when all I had to do was talk to someone and they would point me in the right direction, and they definitely did. And I'm very thankful for it because I ended up going to counseling, and I was in counseling for about 6 months through it. And I actually went to Christian counseling, which I had never been in Christian counseling before until this time, and it made all the difference because through that dark place I was in, I was also struggling with my faith, and we were able to talk about both things at the same time, and we were able to build off of each other with it and build me back to a place where I'm able to handle my anxiety, not depressed anymore. It's great. A thing I don't like that people say is when they say, oh, I don't need to talk to anybody about what I'm going through. I don't need to be in counseling because Jesus is all I need. And yes, Jesus can 100% take away anything you're dealing with, but Jesus gave people these awesome gifts of being able to help others and being able to sit with them and walk through them during these seasons like counselors do. They went to school to be able to help you, and I really do think that Jesus gave them those gifts to be able to help you. So, yes, Jesus can 100% take away everything. However, he wants us to be around other people and be in community. And this past year, 2020, Brian and I have seen more students struggling with this and just this isolation we've been in ever before, and the negative toll it's taken on you guys. And we just wanted to let you know that we're here for you. Anytime, reach out for us, whatever you're going through. We're doing our best to make sure you have a community that supports you and you can be surrounded with. But the thing is, you have to plug yourself into that community as well. We as people are not made to walk through life alone. We're literally told in the Bible to be in community with each other, because it's this all-encompassing thing. Your faith, your mental health, your well-being, all as a person, it all goes hand in hand. Romans 12:2 says, "Don't copy the behavior and customs of this world, but let God transform you into a new person by changing the way you think. Then you will learn to know God's will for you, which is good and pleasing and perfect." The world is a really, really heavy place to be in. And when we get focused on it, we let ourselves slip into a place where we don't center our focus on God. By refocusing our thoughts and minds to God, we are allowing him to change the way we think and see the world through his eyes. So if you are struggling with this isolation or anything else that you're dealing with, just reach out to us. Maybe that's your first step, that you just needed to reach out to someone. And it doesn't have to be Brian and I. It can be any of the youth leaders, any adult you may know. Just reach out to somebody. Tell them what you're going through. Tell them the things that are making you internally struggle. And the thing is, they're not going to look at you like you're this crazy person or you can't keep your stuff together. You don't have to be strong all the time. People know that people aren't always strong and don't always have their crap together. We're all kind of a mess at some point in our life, and it's okay because we've got each other to get us through it. But definitely make that first step of trying to reach out to somebody and talking to someone. We've got good resources at the church that we partner with or suggest, and one of them is Encompass Counseling, and the other is General Shepherd. So if that is something you want to do, or like you need counseling or want to look into it, contact Brian or I, and we can get those resources out to you, because we want what's best for you. One of the things that breaks my heart most in this world is when students don't think they're enough, or they think their problems aren't big enough to come and reach out to others about, because it is. You're important, and don't ever forget that. You're not alone, you're loved, and the things that you're going through matters, and Jesus matters too in this process, and we want to help you through that as well.